Part 14 of exposing a Pisces energy, trying to destiny swap with me, entirely at my expense, entirely against my consent. They've been intentionally, utmost maliciously, doing all the things I'm exposing them for, while intentionally, utmost maliciously, egregiously misrepresenting me as doing it all to them. This time, it was a prayer I saw pop up in my energy, not a reading. I never wanted or needed such a prayer, and I actually feel like it's infinitely more so a curse than any kind of protection or blessing for me at all. 11:11 and 22:22 are significant. Dear God, wrap my dear friend in your arms tonight and let them feel your presence in every quiet moment, in every tear that falls. So they've been using completely falsely framing me as seeing those that are in reality much more so comparable to an enemy as instead a dear friend, in order to try to steal a general sense of any semblance of safety I could ever even possibly feel through a spiritual connection to true divine source energy in every moment of any kind of silence in my life. They've been egregiously misrepresenting me as needing their help to feel divinely protected, because they've been egregiously misrepresenting things as if me losing them from my life is some kind of devastating loss to me that I'd be crying over, while in reality they know that I'd be overjoyed to finally cut such a scumbag completely out of my energy as soon as possible. Their heart is heavy with loss, and though no words can fill the space that's been left, I pray you bring peace and surpassing understanding. So they've been egregiously exploiting, egregiously misrepresenting me as being incapable of putting into words how I truly feel about them, because they've been trying to steal my peace and a truly surpassing understanding of exactly how negatively them having any access to me has been impacting me entirely beyond my control for such a long time. Remind them that love never ends, it only changes form. So they've been trying to force me to suffer an existence where no matter how egregiously, diabolically detrimental them having any access to me is, I'm stuck being completely unable to ever stop loving them, and instead just living a different form of the perpetual sheer hellish nightmare of hell on earth that they unapologetically, intentionally, almost maliciously have been enjoying inflicting on me for their own selfish gain. May their parents' spirit live on in every sunrise, every laugh, every gentle memory that brings both ache and warmth. So they've been trying to leave me absolutely unconditionally forced and trapped with being haunted by the extremely harmful spirit of my parents day and night. They've wanted me so extremely miserable that I never laugh, or at least certainly don't ever actually sincerely want to. They've wanted me perpetually, absolutely devastated with the extremely brutal and harsh nightmares of memories that exclusively bring entirely negative pain and absolute coldness, that they extremely egregiously misrepresent as some kind of fondness that in reality I never at all felt from or towards either of my parents, because they've always been massively benefiting from how they were always treated a lot better by both my parents than I ever was, and want to have them protected entirely at my expense, entirely against my consent, because they all share the common goal of hoping to extremely egregiously spiritually violate me to literal death in every sense. Give them strength when the days feel impossible and rest when the nights are long. So they've especially been trying to leave me feeling weak when the days feel impossible, and restless and unable to get any real rest when the nights are long. Surround them with people who will hold them up when they can't stand on their own, and when the grief feels too heavy to carry, let them know that they are not alone, that you are near always. So they've been trying to permanently, completely isolate me from anyone that would ever hold me up when I even at all might be unable to stand on my own. They've been trying to leave me feeling most alone. At points, they've hoped the grief of all the horrible things I've experienced in my life feels too heavy to carry. They've extremely, desperately hoped for me to end up feeling completely separated from spirituality, especially when I should have felt the most connected to it. Amen. So they're even somehow egregiously abusing religion, whether directly or indirectly through those they're closely connected to, in order to try to amplify their attacks against me and the length and severity of the kind of control they've been trying to exert endlessly over my existence.